everyone, and welcome to Peach Betty. My name is Morgan, and all of these videos are about vintage baking. Each month, I pick a special vintage cookbook to feature. This is the last recipe that I'm doing from Better Homes and Gardens, so if you would like to see more, please click on the other videos from my channel. For this video, I have chosen to do an apple and raisin fold. It is a yeast raisin dough that you take and wrap around delicious apple cinnamon raisin filling. To start your dough, you're going to take 2 packages of active dry yeast. You want to dissolve that into warm water. Your water should be at least 90 degrees and no hotter than 110. After 110, your yeast will die. Go ahead and stir it in there and let it sit until it starts to get nice and bubbly. Next, you're going to take your butter, sugar, and salt and mix all that together. It's important that your salt is covered in that butter, because if salt comes into direct contact with yeast, it'll kill it. So you want to make sure you don't skip this step. After you've done that, you want to take your well-beaten eggs and pour them into your milk. Mix all those together, and then you can add it to your creamed butter. You want to make sure all of these are at least room temperature so your butter doesn't curdle. After you've got all that well mixed, you can add 2 cups of flour. Stir all that together, and then we're going to let it sit until it becomes nice and bubbly and foamy. What's happening now is that yeast is starting to feed on all of that sugar, and as it feeds, it releases carbon dioxide bubbles. And that's what makes your dough all nice and fluffy. You don't want to skip this step, it's very important. Be patient. You can start to see those beautiful little bubbles. That's not enough. Wait a little bit longer. Here we go. It's all foamy and bubbly. When you shake it, it kind of waves a little bit like a big fat belly. Now you can go ahead and sift together all of your dry ingredients. You have flour, sugar, and cinnamon. Pour all those in there. Leave a little bit out just in case. Mix that together. I think I need the rest of this flour. It's still looking a little sticky. Once your dough starts to come together, you can go ahead and pour it onto your table. Make sure you sprinkle a little bit of flour down so it doesn't stick. Start to fold it over and press it. We're going to start to knead it just a little bit. We're not trying to make this dough tough. We want it to be a nice soft dough. So just fold it over a couple times. Now I'm going to make some rolls, and I'm also going to show you how to make a cinnamon swirl bread. So I'm going to divide this in half and save some of it for my rolls and some of it for my bread. We need to make our filling for our rolls, and that's very easy. The recipe has applesauce as the filling, and I don't really want to do applesauce, so I decided to do fresh apples. Cut them up, put them in a pot with some brown sugar and some cinnamon. Let them cook down until they become nice and soft and almost mushy, and then stir in my raisins and my butter. Once they're cooled, I can go ahead and fill my rolls. For the rolls, we're going to take our rolling pin and start to roll it out into a nice rectangle. We need to cut these 3 by 3 and measure them out. We have 9 by 12. Perfect. We're going to get a dozen rolls. Once you have cut them, we're going to take our filling and put a tablespoon of filling into each roll. Now we have all of our rolls filled. We're going to go ahead and take a square in our hand, and we're going to fold in all of the corners. Pinch them all together and then put them pinch side down. Do these for all of your rolls. When you've got them all done, go ahead and place them into a muffin tin. Now we're going to set these aside and let them rise until they're double in size. Now we're going to roll out our dough for our bread. We're going to roll this into a rectangle as well, best you can. I didn't really measure this one, I just kind of winged it. It's probably about 12 by 9 as well. Now that it's all rolled out, I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of my filling and sprinkle it all over top. In addition to my filling, I'm going to go ahead and add some brown sugar and cinnamon to it as well. And sprinkle that on top. Make sure you get it all the way to the ends, and we're going to roll this up like a cinnamon roll. Pull the farthest side towards you, pinch it all together. Once it's all pinched, you're going to take your serrated knife, cut it down the middle. Now this is going to get messy. Even though it looks like it's going to all fall apart, don't give up. Keep going. Once it's all cut down the middle, I'm going to pinch the top of it together, and then I'm going to fold one side over the other side. Give it a little twist. We're going to grab the ends and then put them into our loaf pan, making sure to tuck them underneath. There we go. Now we just have to wait. Cover it all in plastic wrap and set it aside for at least an hour in a nice warm spot in your kitchen. Time to wait. That was well worth the wait. Look at these. They are gorgeous. Nice and fluffy. You know that they're ready when you start to poke it and it doesn't spring back up. It just starts to kind of cave in a little bit. That's because you're popping the air that it's made. But look at this guy. Look how big he is. Gosh, beautiful. Now all I'm gonna do is take some melted butter and brush it on top. You want to be very gentle when you're brushing these guys. We don't want to pop any of those beautiful pockets of air. Alright, now that these are all brushed, I'm ready to stick them into the oven. It is set at 375 degrees. These guys should take about 20 to 25 minutes. And this guy's probably going to take about an hour. Can't wait to see them when they're ready. Good luck! Alright, so I just popped out my rolls and they smell so good. They got nice and golden brown. I'm going to get a stick of butter and just let it melt on top of these guys. And then I'm going to let them cool. The way that you know that they're done is if you pick one up, turn it over, and give it a little tap. It should sound hollow on the inside. These are great. Now we just have to wait a few more minutes for our loaf of bread to come out of the oven, and I can't wait. Alright, here we are. It has all come out of the oven and smells so good. You know that your loaf of bread is done when you take a thermometer, stick it down in the middle, halfway, and it should read 200 degrees. Perfect. It's not completely cool yet, so don't cut it. But I'm going to go ahead and cut up our rolls. Let's try some. Grab a serrated knife and go ahead and slice on in there. Pull it apart. Lost a raisin. Alright, make sure you get a good bite of that filling. Oh, that's good. This is a very soft dough. It's perfect for rolls. And that filling is so good. It's like fall. Perfect. I think some cinnamon butter would be perfect with this. You could fill these with anything that you'd like, so give it a try. Okay, that's all I've got for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and let me know what you thought of this video. And please subscribe to my videos. I post every Sunday. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's Peach Betty Morgan. If you like vintage things, you can also follow me on Southeast Michigan Vintage as well. Every day I post items that you can purchase from vintage stores in the Southeast Michigan area. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.